Only 4 days to his first anniversary as the transitional president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore faced an attempted coup.
Je jure devant le peuple burkinabé et sur mon honneur de préserver.
It is an ironic twist of fate for the captain who came to power on September 30th, 2022 after ousting the previous junta leader, Colonel Paul-Henri Damiba. Damiba had been in power for only 8 months after ousting Roch-Marc Kabore. Damiba's reign came to a quick end on claims that Burkina Faso security crisis was worsening. Traore's military government may have foiled the recent coup, but has the 35-year-old's transitional presidency succeeded where Damiba supposedly failed?
Les changements que nous voyons depuis le coup d'État jusqu'à aujourd'hui, les changements de sécurité, nous, on voit beaucoup de choses. À chaque fois, on attendait ici, on a tué beaucoup de militaires, on a tué beaucoup de civils. Maintenant, aujourd'hui, ça diminue.
Ce que moi j'apprécie, c'est qu'il prend les décisions sans avoir peur. De ce côté, moi je suis d'accord avec lui. Et puis, il consulte le peuple aussi. Il ne peut pas prendre la décision sans consulter le peuple.
During his inauguration in October 2022, Traore pledged to improve security in the West African country.
You know, it's not easy in Africa for leaders to rally their people behind them, but the subject followership and the leadership kind of connection in Burkina under Ibrahim Traore is very high.
Traore visited Russia in July 2023 to deepen security and economic ties with the country. He held talks with President Vladimir Putin on the sideline of the second Russia-Africa summit in St. Petersburg.
Je tiens donc vous signifier l'amitié surtout à cette étape actuelle qui est très ardente entre les peuples burkinabés et les peuples russes.
Weeks later, a Russian delegation led by Deputy Defense Minister Yunus Bek Yevkurov visited Burkina Faso as a follow-up to the talks between Traore and Russian President Putin.
La coopération militaire et coopération militaire technique, mais aussi la coopération dans le domaine de l'économie, dans le domaine de l'énergie nucléaire, c'est toutes les questions et on va faire notre mieux pour vous aider de développer dans toutes ces sphères.
The growing ties between Ouagadougou and Moscow have attracted a lot of attention, given Burkina Faso's deteriorating relations with the Western countries, especially former colonial ruler France. Burkina Faso expelled French troops in February 2023 amid growing anti-French sentiments in the region. The French had operated for nearly a decade on an anti-terror mission in the West African country, where militant groups have been active since 2015. The security situation in Burkina Faso, however, remains unstable. According to the World Bank, there were fewer than 50,000 internally displaced persons in the country in January 2019, but the number jumped to more than 2 million by the end of March 2023. The situation is part of the wider endemic insecurity affecting several countries in the Sahel region, including Niger and Mali, where armed groups continue to unleash deadly violence.
Russia should do all it takes to help, but still, relying on Russia alone cannot solve anything. After all, the Wagner Group has been in Mali for some time, but I would say the gains that the Malians have recorded under their partnership with Wagner, to me, is nothing to write home about.
And now, President Traore is prominently strengthening ties with the junta-led neighbouring countries of Mali and Niger. The three countries have signed a defence and economic bloc known as the Alliance of Sahel States.
Toute atteinte à la souveraineté et à l'intégrité territoriale d'une ou plusieurs parties contractantes sera considérée comme une agression contre les autres parties et engagera un devoir d'assistance et de secours de toutes les parties.
The move to create an alliance was triggered by the political and diplomatic tensions in the region following Niger's July 26 coup d'état. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, had threatened military intervention and imposed economic sanctions in an attempt to force the junta in Niger to relinquish power and reinstate deposed President Mohamed Bazoum.
80% of the success of this partnership would depend on, their ingenuity, what they, as African leaders, really want to do to bring stability to their country. And it boils down to good governance, dividends of good governance to their locals.
Traore's transitional government has come under criticism for the suspension of the constitution and dissolution of parliament. Analysts say the recent coup attempts against him could also mean there are some levels of discontent in the country as he continues to consolidate his grip on power.
Les hommes politiques ont été réduits au silence, à tel enseigne qu'on n'a pas aussi un leader politique qui sort du lot, qui s'exprime et qui s'assume. Quoi qu'il en soit, les hommes politiques ont été véritablement réduits au silence, à tel enseigne que c'est devenu même un silence assourdissant. C'est un silence qui dérange, parce que étant donné qu'il y a des libertés qui sont plus ou moins stressées, quand les hommes politiques ne disent rien, c'est compliqué. Même de communiquer, c'est la même chose pour les organisations de la société civile, mais c'est beaucoup plus pour les partis politiques. Les partis politiques ne peuvent plus tenir les réunions. Même les réunions du bureau politique national sont suspendues.
Besides the political situation, there has been a sharp decline in economic growth, particularly in agriculture, which is a strategic sector in the country. The economic growth slowed to 2.5% in 2022, according to the World Bank's latest economic update. Burkina Faso also posted the highest inflation rates among countries in the West African Economic and Monetary Union. The country is an emerging exporter of gold. More than 40% of the population lives below the poverty line.
Si on peut créer des emplois pour les jeunes, je pense que ça peut au moins avancer les choses.
According to the Transitional Charter, Traore is expected to lead the country until July 2024, when a general election is scheduled to take place. Currently, under the Charter, he is not eligible to vie for the presidency in the upcoming elections. However, the political situation remains unpredictable, not only in Burkina Faso, but across the region.